Imagine texting your best friend without lifting a finger. No phone, no keyboard, just ... thoughts. Yes, we're talking about telepathy, but not the crystal ball kind. We're talking real-life, AI-driven, mind-to-mind communication. Sounds like it's not. It's 2025. And why should you care? Because the same tech that reads your thoughts could also read your market instincts, your emotions, and your financial fears, and maybe help you make better crypto calls. Your brain could become your next investment advisor. Quick question: if your brain had a Twitter feed, what would it tweet right now? Buy the dip or where's my pizza? Let's break this down. Welcome to the future. Decode it. So what is this mind connection tech? It starts with brain-computer interfaces, BCIs. These devices pick up brainwaves and convert them into data. Think Neuralink, synchron, and current. The goal: direct mind-to-mind communication. Your brain is electric. Electrodes decode the neurons firing when you think a word. Those signals can be sent wirelessly to another device and another person. Wild. Sure. But the Pentagon has been funding this stuff for years. And right now, we already have brain-to-text typing at 90 words per minute. Stanford researchers pulled it off with a paralyzed patient. So, imagine typing out your crypto trading strategy while lying on a beach. No hands, no stress, but here's the catch. What if someone could hack your thoughts? Imagine you're in a negotiation. A neural device alerts you before your facial expressions give anything away. You take a breath, recalibrate, and regain the upper hand. In high-stakes moments, calm is currency. Let's say you're a solo entrepreneur, you're overwhelmed. Your headset senses cognitive overload. It dims your lights, lowers screen contrast, and schedules a break. You return focused, productive, profitable. Athletes are already using similar tech. Mental coaching via neural feedback. Want to stay in flow state longer? Your headset tells you when you're dropping out. Adjust your posture, your breath, your mindset. Performance peaks. But what about entertainment? Imagine watching a horror movie that adapts to your fear level. The scarier it gets, the calmer you train yourself to be. Your own neuromastery becomes part of the experience. Even parenting is shifting. Parents can use biofeedback to regulate stress while managing tantrums. Real-time emotional data equals fewer overreactions. Teachers, they're wearing neurobands that show student engagement. Not to punish, to adapt. If half the class zones out during a lesson, it's not the kids, it's the delivery. Real-time feedback upgrades education. And in therapy, clients use these tools to see how thoughts affect body state. Anxiety becomes visible, manageable, rewritable. Now picture Jordan, a 28-year-old project manager who leads remote teams. Burnout is a real threat. He wears a headband that measures his mental fatigue throughout the day. It nudges him to take breaks not just when he's tired, but before his decision quality drops. The result: a better team leader, better delivery, and fewer mental crashes. At just 14, she uses a neural interface that helps her identify emotional bias in her game. When she's overconfident, the headset lights up. She reevaluates the board. Her ranking climbs, not because she sees better, but because she feels smarter. And there's Marcus, a military strategist. His neural feedback system doesn't just analyze his reactions, it syncs with team members. During simulated operations, their shared mental data creates a kind of emotional radar. If fear spikes in one squad, leadership adapts, coordination tightens. The mission evolves from tactical to neural. And don't forget everyday users, like Rachel, a mom of 3 juggling 2 part-time jobs. She uses a neural assistant to manage her cognitive bandwidth. When stress peaks during dinner prep, it auto-adjusts the playlist to soothing tones. The kids calm down. Dinner becomes peaceful. Micro-optimizations. Imagine the cumulative effect when millions of people are making micro-decisions based on real-time emotional data. It's not just personal enhancement. It's collective optimization. Even streaming content could shift. Platforms like Netflix could tailor shows not just to your watch history but your current brain state. Feeling sad, a serotonin-boosting comedy queued up. Anxious, a grounding documentary. It's not entertainment, it's mood design. Musicians might even compose albums based on neural resonance. Songs that evolve based on your brainwaves. Tracks that literally sync with your mind. A collaboration between artists and audience authored in real time. We're not talking about distant futures. This tech is rolling out quietly, with themselves, with their environments, with each other. This is just the beginning. Let's go deeper. If part 1 was about reading your thoughts, part 2 is about sensing them. Enter the next stage of the brain tech revolution: mind-to-mind communication. This isn't just one brain talking to a screen. It's brain A connecting to brain B, thoughts traveling across space, not through text or voice but through neural signals. Sounds insane. Maybe, but it's already happening in labs. In one experiment, scientists linked the brains of 2 rats. One rat solved a puzzle. The others, in a different room, completed the same puzzle without ever seeing it. The solution was transferred brain to brain. Human trials are also underway. At the University of Washington, researchers created the first brain-to-brain communication between 2 people. One thought of a command. The other performed it with no spoken words. It's not magic, it's data. Your brain sends electric signals. These signals get decoded, compressed, transmitted, received, then executed. Think email but faster. And biological. Imagine two crypto traders linked up, one with a gut for trend reversals, the other with precise timing. Their strengths, shared in real time, become something new. A cognitive tag team, or a surgeon mentoring from across the world, not just speaking, but transmitting calm, precision, expertise. The trainee absorbs not just instructions, but intuition. This is the birth of Neuralink. Let's meet Ava and Chris. Ava is a fashion designer in Paris. Chris is an AI coder in Seoul. They link up via neural headsets. Their brainstorming sessions aren't vocal. Their mental concepts blend. Ava thinks color, Chris thinks structure. Their project becomes a fusion of emotion and lagipure and the meta. This is where it evolves. Right now, VR is about immersion. But add BCIs, and it becomes transmission. You feel what your avatar feels. You think and the world reacts. Picture walking into a virtual DAO, your presence encoded not by an NFT, but by your emotional frequency. Calm minds speak louder. Distracted ones fade. It's not just a vote, it's a vibe. Let's talk relationships. What if couples could share emotional states directly? Understand each other not through assumptions or arguments, but through neural empathy. Conflict might drop, connection might spike, but it's not all utopia. Because here's where things get messy. If you can sync thoughts, you can steal them. If you can feel someone else's emotion, you can manipulate it. This tech opens doors, but it also removes walls. Think advertising. Forget cookies and click data. Imagine marketers who can sense your hesitation during an ad, who can inject calm when you hover over buy now, or casinos that reward neural pleasure before the payout even if you lost. If dopamine becomes a metric, manipulation becomes an industry. And surveillance. Governments could justify scanning emotional states under the banner of safety. Angry crowd, preemptive action. Rebellious thoughts, flagged. China's already using IG headbands in classrooms. Teachers monitor focus levels in real time. Productivity is tracked. So is disobedience. Now scale that. Workplaces, airports, courts, you walk through a scanner. It doesn't check your bag. It checks your mood, but let's pause. Because this isn't just about fear. It's also about power. If you can detect your own rage before it explodes, can you control it? If you can sense burnout approaching, self-awareness becomes a superpower. Let's talk about Dev, a 37-year-old emergency responder, constant trauma, always alert. He trains with a neural mirror system that reflects his stress patterns back to him. Over time, he learns to shift states on command.com in chaos, % under pressure. Then there's Lena, a 19-year-old coder with anxiety. Her headset learns her panic signals. Before a spiral hits, it activates a breathing protocol. Her laptop screen softens. Notifications pause. She rides the wave instead of drowning in it. Not every application is big. Some are just smart. Like Marcus, a rideshare driver in LA, his neuroband tracks mental fatigue. When focus drops, the app offers a break, a coffee coupon, or a meditation clip. His ratings improve. So does his health. These aren't just anecdotes. They're signals. A shift is coming from screen time to brain time. You won't just scroll for dopamine, you'll train your brain to balance it. Neurofitness becomes a trend. Brain gyms, mental recovery zones, cognitive fasting. Apps won't just count your steps. They'll count your calm. The workplace adapts. Companies already test wearable EEGs during hiring, not just for skills but for neural traits. Can you focus under pressure? Do you panic in complexity? Soon your mental signature could be your resume. A portfolio of calm, of clarity, of cognition. In the right hands, that's power. But in the wrong ones, let's go darker. Imagine a future where employers don't just read your LinkedIn, they read your neural patterns from the past 6 months. Spikes in stress, red flag, emotional volatility, disqualified, or dating apps that match based on compatible brain rhythms. Sounds cute until rejection becomes measurable, until your mood is scored, until attraction becomes algorithm. What if prisons use neurotech to detect remorse, or to predict What if insurance premiums adjusted to your mental stability? That's not just sci-fi, that's predictive neuro. And while the rich optimize their cognition with luxury neurospace and bespoke headsets, the rest might face mandatory scans at work. A new class divide not by income, but by brain access. But let's flip it back. Because the tech isn't evil, it's a mirror. It reflects us, amplifies us. If we lead with fear, it magnifies fear. If we lead with awareness, it expands awareness. So maybe the question isn't, what will this tech do to us? Maybe it's, what will we do with it? And maybe, just maybe, we can build a world where minds are linked not to control, but to collaborate. Not to judge, but to understand. Not to manipulate, but to heal. In part 3, we're diving into the final frontier when brainwaves become currency. and your thoughts can literally buy Bitcoin. Stay locked in. The mind economy is coming. Let's imagine the unimaginable. Your brain not just as a communication tool but as a wallet, a marketplace, a mining rig. Welcome to the mind economy. If part 1 was about thought to text, and part 2 was about thought to thought, then part 3 is about thought to transaction. That's right, your brainwaves could soon interact with the centralized ledgers you think. The system verifies. The block gets added. Done. Sounds insane. Think again. We're already seeing neural signatures being used for authentication. Brainprint instead of fingerprint. A unique cognitive rhythm that is harder to fake than a password and more secure than a retina scan. Imagine logging into your crypto wallet just by thinking, no keys, no 2FA, just neural presence. Fast, private, unhackably unless someone can mimic your exact brainwave sequence under stress, joy, and boredom. But why stop at access? Let's talk transaction. Right now, you click to buy. Tomorrow you'll think to buy. AI agents will read intent from your neural signals. Want that NFT? Think it. Your assistant confirms, executes, logs it on. What if intention itself becomes value? That's where things get wild. Researchers at MIT have developed systems that can detect decision confidence via IG. Now imagine a trading platform that executes your trades based not on what you click but how confident you feel. No more second guessing, no more emotional delay. The moment your conviction spikes, trade placed. And here's where the crypto layer hits hard. Decentralized finance becomes not just automated but intuitive. Protocols read crowd sentiment in real time from neural pools. Market shifts are anticipated not by charts but by collective cognitive tides. Fear surges in a region, liquidity adjusts, optimism rises among whales. Network fees fluctuate, the blockchain becomes biologically reactive. That's the mind-driven economy. And yes, it gets even weirder. You've heard of mining, proof of work, proof of stake. But what about proof of thought? Contribute to the network by solving puzzles not with your GPU, but with your brain. Mental effort becomes computational value. Solve a neural captcha, earn tokens, participate in a massive brain-powered DAO. Stake your attention, not your coin. Let's pause, because this shifts everything. In traditional economies, your labor is physical or digital. But here, it's cognitive. Your focus becomes currency. Your emotions become liquidity. Your mental presence becomes a monetized asset. Now imagine markets where you trade emotional futures, bet on the neural trends of populations, predict mass sentiment, hedge against cognitive collapse. You thought the stock market was volatile. Try a marketplace where panic literally feeds the price. This is no longer theory. Startups are already building APIs for emotion-sensed commerce, a clothing brand that shifts color palette depending on consumer mood data, a trading bot that goes long on serotonin and short on cortisol. Insane. Not when AI reads EEG faster than you blink. Now let's talk dark side. If your thoughts have value, what stops people from stealing them? We're entering an era where mental piracy becomes a crime category. Think ransomware. But for your memories, someone locks your cognition. Pay in crypto to regain clarity. Or consider cognitive blackmail. Someone records your unfiltered mind, your deepest fears, confessions, desires. Then they tokenize it, hold it hostage, auction it anonymously. What if your thoughts were NFT and someone else minted them first? IP laws don't cover this yet. That's 4 books, not brainwaves. And privacy, gone, because every blockchain transaction is traceable. So if your thoughts trigger a smart contract, they leave a trail, an emotional signature, a neural fingerprint on a public ledger forever. We need new frameworks. Neural rights, cognitive consent, ethical BCIs. Chile already passed a law to protect brain data. Other nations, still sleeping. So what happens next? The arms race begins. Neural firewalls, thought encryption, brain-based VPNs. Crypto protocols will start integrating mental security layers, not just to protect tokens but to protect intention. Let's get practical. You wake up, your neuroband reads your stress levels, sees a spike. It connects to your financial assistant, which delays a risky trade you scheduled. Instead, it suggests a meditation NFT app those exist that calms your state. Once your brain stabilizes, the trade resumes. You earn because you waited, because your brain was in sync. This isn't far off. It's the convergence of neurodata and blockchain logic. A world where code reads cognition, where contracts auto-execute on your calm. Think beyond payments. Think governance. DAOs could shift from token-based votes to emotion-based consensus. Only minds in a stable state can vote, or maybe those in a heightened state of inspiration. Imagine a constitution where laws are written by neural resonance. Too utopian. Let's go back to money, because here's the ultimate twist. In this future, the most valuable asset isn't your Bitcoin. It's your bandwidth, mental bandwidth. And that bandwidth, it'll be brokered. Companies will pay to rent your attention not just for ads, but for your brain becomes a validator. This is the mind economy, and it's not waiting. So ask yourself, what's your brain worth? And more importantly, who gets to own it? Think wisely. The market is already listening.